and I build custom PCs to suit anyone's needs or budget. I also live stream my builds and repairs for transparency and educational purposes. So if you'd like to get an awesome new PC and you'd like to see it get put together live, send me a message today. Alright, well, it's been a while. I've been offline for a bit. I haven't done a live stream or posted a video for nearly a month now. What's going on? The short answer is basically just graphics card availability right now. So it's hard to get a hold of 40 series cards, and the 50 series cards are basically MIA at this stage. I don't know when that's going to change. Hopefully soon. Because yeah, I haven't been running any ads for the last 5 weeks now.
Bailey, get out!
Outside, Bailey. Stop fucking around, you stupid dog. Oi. Sometimes you gotta yell at your dogs. Anyway, so I haven't done a live stream for a while. It's because of graphics card availability. Hopefully it's restored soon. I'm hoping that those 5070 Ti's become available soon, and that it's a reasonable price and performance and all that, and we can get back to selling good gaming PCs to people without spending $8,000 on a gaming PC.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, how good's that? Alright, so this PC that we're building today it's not actually a gaming PC. So this is actually a workstation PC. It does feature an RTX 4070, which is fine for gaming. This PC could do plenty of gaming without any dramas. But that's not its intended purpose. So the customer with this one, he was a little bit skeptical with me suggesting this card for his workstation, because he had it in his head that this is a gaming card and I need the workstation card, and that's generally not the case. If you're using some very specific software, you get some improvements by going the studio one, especially if you want to install multiple graphics cards for your workload. But that's a little bit different. This PC here, this workstation, is for video editing and 3D modeling, and in this case, this 4070 here with 12 gigabytes of VRAM for about $800. It's a really good value proposition for this build. So don't ever get too hung up about the marketing of the card. Like, yes, it's a it's marketed at gamers, but it can do plenty of rendering as well. I mean, that's what gaming is. It's doing rendering. So anyway, well, let's get stuck right into it, because we've got a brand new CPU that I haven't used before. It's one of the new Intel CPUs. So this is the 265KF. So this is the new LGA 1851 socket. So we're going to check that one out. I can't even remember. I can't even remember how many cores this is. I think it's 24 cores, 32 threads, or somewhere around that. We got our RTX 4070. This is a MSI Ventus 3X. We have a 32 gigabyte kit of DDR5 RAM, so that's 5200 megahertz, CL36. We have a couple of crucial P3 Plus 1 terabyte NVMe SSDs. We have an MSI Pro Z890-P Wi-Fi motherboard. We have a Thermaltake. What is this one called? This is the Astria 600 cooler. It's actually not the cooler that was in the customer's quote. We had the same thing but without RGB, because RGB is not a priority here. So to recover my costs, I'm actually going to swap those RGB fans out for some nice high static pressure black fans here that are obviously like brand new there as well. So It cost me $10 more than the quote. So it's got 2 RGB fans, so I figured that's fine. I'll swap them for some black fans because the quote, the cooler in the quote just had black fans. We have a Corsair 850 watt ATX 3 power supply. It's the RM850E. Pretty decent little power supply there. Yeah, it's ATX 3.1 compliant. And then our case is an Antec P20C, and this is the one that's that doesn't have any RGB. It's just the plain black one.
Except for the gold strip in the front there.
The gold strip, yeah, but that's not RGB. It's just literally painted on there. So I reckon it looks good. Yellow is kind of Antec's color. So, all right, let's get stuck right into it. Oh, I forgot to do the motherboard freaking image. Yeah, screenshot. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Alrighty, so here's our first Z890 motherboard. And look at that. That is a nice looking motherboard. Good rear I/O there. Alright, let's have a quick look at it. I'll go through the features really quick. So we got 2 8 pins of CPU power. We have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fan headers. We have obviously our 4 DIMM slots, our AM5 socket, nice direct touch heat sinks there on the MOSFET VRM co-processors. We got 2 USB 3 headers, a USB-C. We have 4 SATA ports there. We have a auxiliary PCIe power cable down the bottom there. You don't really need that, but if you're running multiple devices across all those ports, that extra one there can help out. We have a total of 4 M2 slots on this board, so no shortage there of storage. Down the bottom here, we've got our front panel headers. We've got a clear CMOS. We've got a 12 volt RGB header. We've got a TPM header. What's that bad boy down there? That's another... Is that another RGB header? I'm not even sure what that is. It's a header there with a total of 7 pins. So it's like got 8 pin slots and missing 1 pin. It's got a plastic guard around it. It reminds me of RGB connections that I've seen. So I might actually have to look that one up because that's a new one. We've got 2 USB 2s. Our 5 volt RGB, 12 volt RGB, and front panel audio there. We've got our nice little gold capacitors there at the bottom there. It's our audio capacitors. The gold is a bit of insulation there. It's not actual gold, it's just the color of it. And here we've got a PCIe X4, PCIe X4, PCIe X1, and our PCIe X16 up the top there for our graphics card. I've just spotted a 7th fan header there, so what do you know, right? Okay, and then around the back there, we've even got a PS2 header. We've got a Lightning, Thunderbolt USB-C there, a standard USB-C. We got a 5 gigabit Ethernet port there. We got Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 5.2, and it's a total of, what's that, total of 9 USB ports, including the 2 Type-Cs. We got a display port and HDMI port, but neither of them will be in use with this build because we have a KF CPU. So let's get stuck right into it. So Intel This is the Intel Core Ultra. That's what they're calling their CPUs now. But this is basically the 15th generation of Intel CPUs. And they got a new little logo there for it. I don't know if you can see that very well. It's the new logo. Okay. So be very careful when you drop your CPU into your LTA socket, because if you bend a pin and you're an amateur, you probably won't be able to repair it properly. You probably need to go and get some specialist tools, and depending how your eyes are configured, you might need some glasses to kind of get in there and repair it. It's very, very precision type work there. And I don't have surgeon hands. You know, my hands are pretty crap. I kind of like shake a little bit, very, very mildly. So I'm certainly not going to be doing any brain surgery or heart surgery or anything like that. Just any surgery in general, I think. I'll stay away from all that. Alright, so our RAM here, so we've got 2 DIMMs, 5200 megahertz. Done. And our SSDs. So I'll probably just go and put these in the bottom 2 slots. There will be another slot there under the graphics card, but the top slot there with the heatsink, that is that's our PCIe 5 slot. So if we wanted to install a super high speed SSD, that's where we'd be putting it. Oh, and these are P3s, not P3 Plus. I'm sorry. What's the difference? The good question, babe. The difference between the P3 and the P3 Plus is the PCIe generation. So it's literally a Gen 4 versus a Gen 3. I know, it sounds like it's basically the same thing, but it's actually 2 different PCIe generations. So that was my bad there. But because this is a PC for editing, Gen 3 NVMe drives are plenty fast. The main thing is that we've got, when we're using 2 drives, one's basically what they call a scratch drive. It's the drive that you're constantly putting new stuff on and deleting old stuff off, because that wears out your drive. So you don't want your main drive with all your software and apps and stuff being the one that's wearing out from you constantly putting new stuff on there and deleting old stuff. And that's why there is a quote-unquote scratch drive. So it makes sense for people who are doing anything editing related, because you will end up doing a lot of copying and pasting, you know, from other drives and USB sticks and stuff, and you'll be deleting stuff when you don't need it anymore and all of that kind of good stuff. Yeah, so like I said, we'll use these 2 slots at the bottom. They'll be visible and accessible below the graphics card there. There'll be one auxiliary slot there that we can use. Yep. Hey Mark, how you going? Good to have you with us, mate. How's things been? And yes, I've been a bit MIA recently, but it's not my fault. It's the availability of graphics cards.
It's starting to feel like COVID times again.
Yeah, man, it freaking does. It's got COVID vibes. I even got sick the other week.
Mm-hmm. And then you gave it to me.
Yeah, I gave it to Christine as well, but you know, it's a bit hard when you share a fucking bed together. Okay, so our board's all prepped and ready to go. So let's have a look at this cooler. So this is the Thermaltake Astria. Yes, Astria, I got that one right. Let's get some special information telling you how to put it together and stuff. I don't need that. I should be able to muddle through, even though I've never installed this cooler before.
I think it'd be relatively easy.
I'm sure it's going to be relatively easy. Okay, so these two things here are spare fans. Can you chuck them away, babe? Just up there on top of the other fans. Cool. Okay, so this is our cooler here. So this is what we call a twin tower cooler. So basically, you can see exactly why it's twin towers. It's not Lord of the Rings twin towers. It's just a cooler with twin radiators on it. So basically, this guy here, it's got two fans and the two radiators. It's roughly equivalent to like a 240 millimeter radiator.
Put 4 fans on it.
No, there's no bracket for 4 fans. You'd have to have one fan goes in the middle and then one fan goes on whichever side you want it to, based on which way you want the airflow to move. But you can't fit more than the two. So you are limited there, but I would say that if you have the 2 fans there, the third fan's not going to make much difference. You know, 1 to 2, you can notice the difference there, especially with this much surface area of radiator. But the third fan would just be redundant, basically. Alright, so here's our mounting kit. Okay, so this looks like our Intel mounting bracket there, so we should just be able to go ahead and put that in at the bottom there, nice and easy. Just hold it in place and put your board back down like that. Okay, so what have we got here? We got any markings? This is our Intel kit. This is our AMD kit and our 2011 kit. We don't need 2011. That looks like AMD as well. These are our fan clips. And yeah, we only get 4 of them. They need 2 for each fan there, so it's only a maximum of 2 fans. And we have a RGB and fan splitter cable. So, happy days. Ah, cool. Hang on a sec. These are not AMD. So we've got 4 bolts to go over the screws from our back plate there. So yeah, just thumb tighten these guys. Don't go overboard with your screws and stuff like that. PCs have very fine threaded screws, and they can't take a great deal of force and strain without getting bent. So don't go crazy on it. Oh, cool.
So cool. Hammer time. So what card did he end up picking? Standard 4070s or Super TI?
Just a standard 4070 is fine for this. Could have gone the 4070 Ti Super, but it's unavailable, man. This is why I haven't been advertising. Which way do these go? It's got to be the other way. So before you mount your cooler, make sure it doesn't have a bit of plastic on it, and make sure you apply the thermal compound. Okay, I hate those little bits and pieces like that. Well, I better yeah.
Sometimes it's still a better option than the 18,000, 4,000 he was going to pick up. Lol.
Oh yeah, 100%, man. Yeah, 100%. So when you tighten a cooler like this, you want to make sure you sort of do it bit by bit on either side. Alrighty, very good. So these are what we call high static pressure. They have lots of fins on them, so they move air really, really well. When we're talking about static pressure, think of it like torque, right? Like with your car, like pulling power. Or in the fan's case, it's more like pushing power, but that's like, let's not split hairs here. Alright, so for our airflow orientation, we will be exhausting directly out the back. And so as a result, our fan direction is going to go here. We'll have one fan mounted in the middle, one fan mounted at the back, and the airflow dynamics will be flowing this way and directly out the back there. We can probably go ahead, we can probably add another fan, black fan on the back there. Same as everything else. Oh shit, what did I do here? You bastard. Okay. Alright, so we got to put these clips on. These are always a bit of fun. Well, if you pissed off the 360mm radiator, you'd probably be okay. Awesome. So that is fan 1. And fan 2 will go on like this. And the clips go in the reverse direction. Awesome. That is looking good. And so both of these fans here, these can get hooked up directly to our CPU. Right there. Okay, so we can just tuck our cable length there under the cooler. But that is basically it. So instead of a liquid cooler where we use liquid to transfer the heat from the CPU to the radiator mounting elsewhere, we've just got the radiator directly mounted to the top of the CPU there. Alrighty. So there she is. We're prepped and ready to go now. So let's go ahead and install our power supply and hook up everything else. I don't know why they use these brackets here. They're not fucking easier to install. Okay, so let's hook up our cables to the power supply here. So we've got our main 24 pin for the motherboard, which has 30 pins, a 20 and a 10 pin that plugs into the back of the power supply there. What have we got here? We got a 12 plus 4 pin. I don't think we need the 12 plus 4 pin for the regular 4070. I think we just use the standard PCIe cables for that, but it's nice to actually have that there. Alright, so this is a PCIe regular one. Here's a CPU. And we need a second CPU.
Germany just voted in the right-wing party.
What do you expect?
It's all your fault, Dom. All your fault.
Okay, and so we don't need. Oh, look, I'll plug in one SATA just because I'm not 100% sure whether this customer wants to add old drives to this build. So we'll install it even though we don't need it like immediately. Okay. Okay, so we're ready to go ahead and mount this bad boy. Yeah, okay. Oh man, I'm halfway through repairing this dude's laptop. This dude brings me this Gigabyte Aorus laptop with a 3080 mobile CPU, and the cunt was like fucked. Not the dude, the laptop was like fucked. Right? The power button was pushed in like it'd been pressed too hard and forced its way in and then no longer responded to touch. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to repair that, but in addition to that, the fans on the thing had both, like, the bearing had come out of the housing, so they were both just sort of rattling there. And then in addition to that, the battery was all swollen and blown. So I had to order a new battery, and that's usually about 2 or 3 weeks lead time. But then I had to order extra fans, and they're coming from frickin' China. It was 6-week lead time on the fans. So I don't think this dude's gonna be very happy with me, but I can't, there's nothing else I can do. Like, the thing is with laptops is the parts are very specific to that exact model, you know, because it's like they try and package as much hardware in a small space, and so then things like for example the fans all have a slightly different kind of dimension to them, slightly different screw hole configuration where you tie them down to the rest of it. So as a result, because it's very, very specific, there's no retailers that just keep all this stuff in stock, because, you know, if you're running a business, you've got to turn over what you buy, and you can't just keep everything in stock on the off chance that someone comes to you wanting stuff. There's a couple of really good suppliers for laptop parts, but they don't have everything, and that's the key thing to consider. Alright, so that motherboard's all screwed down there, so let's go ahead and plug in some of this stuff. Starting with our CPU. And yeah, I mean, for a workstation, we were talking about this earlier, like the gaming cards versus the studio cards, and for most people, it's not going to make a great deal of difference. But the thing to consider, right, is when it comes time to upgrade or sell your system, which is going to be easier to sell for you, right? You know, if you get a system and you put a gaming card in there, then 5 years down the track you can sell it as a gaming PC, used gaming PC, and fucking everyone wants a used gaming PC. I'm not being a smart ass there. I mean, the demand for used gaming PCs, like decent used gaming PCs, is ridiculous. If I could buy used gaming PCs and resell them, I could do that for a living. Just used gaming PCs. The problem is that the supply is significantly less than the demand. So, very, very hard to get a hold of, essentially. Okay. So these little cables here are meant to be the hardest part about building a PC according to amateur builders. Now, the problem I have with that is that back in the day, if you think plugging in 4 cables is hard, go and have a look at the PCs from from the 90s and some of the pin configurations that you have to deal with. You'd be happy as to deal with just 4, put it that way. Our case fans can just get plugged in down the bottom here. It's no big deal. Okay, we're nearly done with the assembly. then we just do a quick Windows installation, and that'll be pretty much it. We'll have a quick play around with that CPU because we haven't played around with it before. Okay, just a single PCIe cable.
Hammer Time says you need a sturdy table. It's making me seasick. Yeah, he does. Maybe that's something we should play some.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So always pull all this plastic off your graphics card, particularly the bit on the back plate there, because it's designed to be sort of air cooled. Although this one here is just a freaking plastic plate. Not going to make a big deal of difference with a plastic plate, but hey. Okay. Alright, so let's see if I've put it together correctly. Alrighty, so just remember there's no RGB here, but our fans have spun up. Oh, we got good airflow out the back there. I don't even think we need that extra fan. I think we're posting. When it restarts like that, it's generally a good sign. No, that's alright.
I think it's doing something.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell is this? Oh, is that what it is? It's like, what?
I haven't seen this BIOS before as advanced mode. Did that not work? Maybe it's on the other one. Okay. Can you check these drives on your computer and make sure there's no problem with the Windows USB? So that one there's got the BIOS in it. Yeah, unplug that. What's on the other one? Not showing anything. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to make a new Windows USB, aren't we? I feel like we did this recently. Okay, so my Windows USB drive seems like it's corrupted because it's not showing up, and when I tried booting it in Windows it wouldn't show up either. So I've got to redo my Windows installation USB now, which takes a little bit of time, but hopefully not too much. There's nothing else I really need to do.
How many times there's no RGB? What was he thinking?
Nah, he specifically wanted no RGB. So So I don't argue with customers. If customer wants something, then I go, yep, no worries, not a problem at all. Exactly. When I'd only been doing this for like a year or two, I used to like try to, you know, really give them the hard sell and try to convince them, you know, that what they wanted was kind of stupid or whatever. Now, I don't bother with that. If you tell me you want something, then I don't argue with it. Unless you ask for my honest opinion. 26%.
It's a storage unit thing that can store 200 bicycles.
Oh yeah. Why do I feel like this is definitely in the Netherlands? It's the bikes capital of the world. Okay, that's all sorted. Yeah.
He also said when I just walked in that he won't even see the tower, you know, heading out of the way. But
Yeah.
as long as it does the job, he's happy.
Yep, 100%, man. It'll be good, and like I said, you know, at the end of the day, if 3 years down the track or whatever, he decides that, you know, it's he wants a much more powerful workstation, then yeah, you won't have any dramas selling it. Try selling a second-hand workstation. It's just not something that people usually search for. But yeah, use gaming PC, absolutely, they'll seek that out. It's one of the hottest items of the last 5 years, right? But yes, it will definitely do whatever he needs. The thing about upgrading your workstation from something like this to something more high-end, you need to be a pretty serious business for that, because it costs a lot more to upgrade, And the only reason why you'd bother spending more money on top of what we've got here, other than maybe upgrading the RAM, it's only got 32 gigabytes of RAM. I normally go 64 or above for workstations, but you can easily add another 32 gigabytes of RAM in there. That's no problems. But yeah, if you upgrade, it's got to be a case of like, I can't get enough rendered in a day with this machine. I need something that renders faster. So this bad boy can be put to work rendering 8 hours a day, 7 days a week or something. Whatever your needs are. But you need to be pretty full on to go, right, I need to upgrade my workstation. I need to render faster. Because if you're not doing as much rendering, or you're only doing a few hours of rendering a day, then it's the case of you set it up to go render and then you go and do something else for an hour, and then it's done its thing, and then you start up another one, then you go away, do something else for an hour. Like, that would make sense for quite a lot of businesses to run it like that, instead of pouring endless capital into a workstation. You don't, like I said, you only do it if you're struggling to get enough rendered in a day and you seriously need more capacity. Because yeah, like I said, this is pretty much what most people want. This is an excellent system. I just want to have a quick play around with our Ultra 7 265KF CPU. That's the only thing I'm interested in.
91%.
91%.
Almost there.
Almost there. Start dinner. Babe.
Yeah. Darren says hi.
Hey Darren, how you going? Good to have you with us.
It's almost done.
Hope you don't mind if I have myself a beer. It is that time of night. I'm getting up early tomorrow morning.
Sucks to be you.
The hard part's done. We're just doing software now. I can't muck that up, can I? Well, hopefully it's not a problem with the actual USB drive, because it's only a new one. I've only recently fucking... Yeah.
Darren says he's doing okay. It's 8:45 morning ready.
Oh, hey Darren, how you going? Good to have you with us.
How many times? What do you do with yourself for a day job?
For a day job, I'm a rep for a company called Simplot. Don't know if you've heard of them.
Pretty sure that he's heard of the...
You probably don't know Simplot, but I guarantee you know what we sell. Have you ever heard of a little brand called Bird's Eye? Or a little brand called John West? Or a little brand called Legos? Or a little brand called Edgel? That's some of the stuff that we have. They're sort of our main ones. And yes, we're the original McDonald's chip supplier back in the day when Macca's first got frozen chips to replace in-store like cut chips. They were the Simplot's chips. So that was the case for like decades. Not sure what chips they're using now. I don't deal with that side of the business, so.
You do supermarkets.
Yeah, I deal with retail customers, Coles, IGA, independent retailers. So if you come into a store and see a massive freaking display of John West tuna for Lent, that's the kind of crap that I organise.
It's almost done.
Almost done. Oh, fucking thank fuck for that. Hey? Come on, come on, come on. I'm ready to install Windows. Ah, it's ready. Look at that. Hell yeah. Oh, it's the one with the black on it.
Hot.
Yeah, I bet it is. Okay.
And something's gone wrong with it.
You want to see something going wrong? So I'm very, very confused. Go back to full screen for a second, babe. I had a customer bring back their motherboard, and there's a nice little short there. See all of that? It's freaking peeling off layers of the motherboard there. Nice little short there. Now, normally when you see a short like that, it's generally because the board is making contact with the case, or there's a cable that's been ripped on top of these pins on the back of it. That can cause a short. However, there's no evidence of any burnt cables or any point of contact, direct contact with the case. So this seems like it's frickin' done this on its own. So honestly, I don't know.
Yay.
I don't know what the
Windows thing.
I don't know what the deal is with it, because normally when we see stuff like this, it's usually user error. But when I inspected it, it had no evidence of that. So I've just chucked another board in the customer's PC, and I'm gonna try and return this, but I feel like they're just gonna reject it. They'll just be like, nah, you fucked it up yourself, too bad. But like I said, there was no evidence of that. Like if something shorts, you can normally see some sort of burn marks, or a cable that's been burnt away from the current, but there was none of that. So oh, yeah. Yeah, nah, definitely not, man.
I think
Definitely
he'd
not.
have some sort of IT job or something.
No, I've done my stint in the office, sitting down all day, and yeah, it's not for me. Put it that way. When I did Tim's PC full time for a few years, I gained about fucking 30 kilos in 2 years. So that's definitely not good for me. When I was working, when I did my time in the office, as I refer to it as, yeah, I also gained a heap of weight then. Not as much because I was only at it for just over a year. But yeah, I don't like to sit down all day. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm sure I could make more money if I was the sort of person who did sit down every day, and was happy to get up every morning at 5 a.m. and hit the gym and do my workouts, then get into the office and start to dance. Nah, like that's just not me. I'm not that kind of guy. So yeah, field sales is right up my alley. Tim's PC. I mean, I do Tim's PC, and I'm not going to stop doing Tim's PC on the side there. But yeah, doing it full time, sitting down all day is bad for my health. So, alrighty. Oh man, United States, what a clusterfuck right now, eh? Okay. So yeah, no idea what the dealio is with this. Yeah, bit of a mystery, put it that way. So hopefully it's a known issue, and I get a refund or a replacement on that board. Because if not, I'm down a motherboard. Yeah.
Says, yeah, that's crazy. Speaking of which, it's my gym time, so I'm off, but I'm sure Mel will like his new PC, and I'll reach out when I'm ready for a new one too.
Yeah, no worries, man. Easy as. Have a good one. Where are we? Okay, so let's get a bit of stuff set up here. So we have an NVIDIA card. I've got to get all the drivers for this, so... Okay, so no gaming related stuff's required. Plug in a LAN cable because we're probably going to need that. Oh, I think I might need LAN drivers, babe. That one, I think.
It's cold.
What the fuck? thing.
Hmm.
Okay, sweet. All right, so we're nearly done actually. I feel sorry for you because it's an awesome side. Yeah. It's healthy as well. It's healthy, it's tasty, it goes great with the side with meat. That's why they serve it at KFC. KFC's kind of a heavy kind of meal. What's that? That's what I don't get. So what?
It's too mayo-y. I don't like mayo.
But you fucking eat it with the potato salad and the pasta salad. It's the same mayo. It's the same mayo.
It's all the same. It tastes different.
I'm making some even nicer mayo than what I normally sorry, coleslaw than what I normally do. We at least try a little tiny bit.
I'll try it, but I can't fucking guarantee anything.
Hey, Fluffy Man. It's coming to see you.
So we're just leaving Windows 10 on here because I'm not sure exactly what software the customer uses. And so yeah, this guy is actually from my old hometown growing up. He's from Arana Hills. I'm actually not from Arana Hills, I'm from Ferny Hills. But Ferny Hills is right next to Arana Hills. They're like right there. So I consider it to be where I grew up. I have lived in Arana Hills before. It's where my first job was. Yeah, definitely. And so yeah, if you need any graphic design work done or any 3D work done, be sure to hit up Arana Graphics.
Arana.
It's just finishing off everything now. Alright, let's have a look at this bad boy. Alright, the Ultra 7 265 KF, codename Arrow Lake for that generation. And what have we got? Okay. Alright, so it's a 20 core CPU. Okay. That's all looking pretty good. All our devices look like they're installed. All right. What's up?
Ladies like shoes. They look like ski shoes.
Oh. Ugh. Power to weight ratio is not right with that vehicle. Like, well, I don't think it's so much power to weight ratio. I think it's more like torque to weight ratio. That's the problem with the Cybertruck.
It's fucking sad.
Of course it is. Like I said, dude's probably got the fucking tires inflated to like
Lol.
fucking 50 psi.
Yeah,
Oh, it made it. It made it.
no, there was a winch connected to
Oh.
it. He didn't make it.
Oh shit. Gautier, someone that we used to know. Alright, so we're nearly done. I can go and have a look at this CPU a little bit.
Stop that. Stop it. Stop it. Stop being a fuckwit, Tim. Ah.
You're a small dog.
She wants food.
Alright. So let's have a quick look at this bad boy. 15,700, that's a pretty good multi-thread score. And 85, 887. That's a pretty good single thread score. It's a good comparison. So compared to the Core Ultra 9, so the Core Ultra 9's a bit stronger at multi-thread, but single thread it's basically the same. Versus a 14900K, like I said, it's just a little bit below, but pretty much on par. A Ryzen 7950X, you can see there it's pretty much on par as well. Alrighty, so I haven't downloaded Cinebench.
Meow. Fucking meow.
Oh. I swear I installed this. Maybe not. Okay. I'll set this up for a 90-minute run. Really? The hardware monitor didn't install either.
What are you doing?
Nah, there was a problem. There was a problem. I had to start all the installation again.
Just fine.
Alrighty. Well, look at that. That's very well behaved for an Intel chip running Cinebench, isn't it? That's a nice nice surprise, isn't it? 86, 87. Yeah, sweet. Not straight to 100C anymore. Yeah. Airflow out the top and the back. No dramas there. Happy days. Alright, so we just let this one run for 90 minutes. It's called a burn-in test. Just make sure that, you know, the first time you use it, it doesn't just go belly up. Well, you can never be 100% sure. We do stress tests and stuff. I've had PCs fail, or components in a PC fail almost instantly as soon as it's shipped to the customer. It happens. Like poor George. George got a nearly 10 grand PC. Had a top tier power supply in it and everything. 10 years warranty on the power supply. He had it for a day and then the power supply dies. Yes, the 10-year warranty power supply died in a day.
It happened.
It happens, okay? Like, we can use all of the most amazing high-end parts and you could still have a problem with it. Like, that's just the nature of it, unfortunately. Alrighty, well, look, this is where we'll probably leave it for tonight, unless anyone's got any other final questions for me before I sign off. Alright, well, I think that's probably it then. What's up?
I said just leave it for a couple of minutes just in case people are typing.
Nope. Alright, so thanks everyone for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you all in the next video.